Welcome to the Recaps channel. In today's video, we'll recap Red Sparrow. Let's get started. Dominika Egorova is a talented ballet dancer from Russia. She has been dancing and taking care of her sick mother since she was a teenager. One day, Dominika leaves her mother with a caretaker and goes to work. She encounters various guests, including her uncle Ivan, who is the deputy director of Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service. She also meets a gangster named Dmitry Ustinov who behaves inappropriately. During her performance, her dance partner accidentally injures her leg, resulting in a severe fracture. Meanwhile, Nate Nash is a CIA agent working in Moscow. One day, while about to meet one of his informants in Gorky Park, he is unexpectedly confronted by the police. Nate creates a diversion to allow his Russian informant, codenamed Marble, to escape. Because of his mistake, Nate is sent back to the US. The next day, Ivan visits the director of the Russian intelligence agency and General Vladimir Korchnoi. They show him video footage of Nate's meeting in Gorky Park and express their interest in identifying the unidentified person in the footage. Dominika is devastated when she realizes she can never dance again. Months pass, but Dominika still relies on a cane to walk. One day, Uncle Ivan visits her and reveals that her replacement has been found, which means she will no longer receive any benefits from her former workplace. Before leaving, he gives her an envelope containing intimate pictures of her former dance partner and her replacement, along with a recording of their conversation suggesting that her partner deliberately caused the accident to benefit his girlfriend. Angry and fueled by revenge, Dominika goes to the theater and attacks them with her cane. With her career in ruins, Dominika turns to her uncle for help. He agrees to assist her but asks her to gather information about the gangster Dmitry in return. Although hesitant, Dominika has no other choice due to her mother's expensive medical bills. That night, Dominika goes to the hotel where Dmitry is staying. As expected, Dmitry approaches her and they go to a private room. Dmitry asks Dominika to undress, and they engage in intimate activities. However, at that moment, a person wearing a black helmet enters the room and kills Dmitry. The man turns out to be an SVR agent named Konstantin, sent by Ivan. Shortly after, Ivan meets Dominika and presents her with a choice: either become an operative for the intelligence agency or face execution for witnessing Dmitry's murder. As expected, she chooses to work for them. Following this, Dominika enrolls in State School 4, a tough and demanding institution specializing in training spies skilled in using seduction as a tactic. Upon her arrival, she is greeted by Matron, the headmistress of the school. The next day, classes begin, and Matron informs the students that their bodies now belong to the state, and they are obligated to perform any assigned task. Meanwhile, Nate meets with CIA officials who want to suspend him, but he argues that he has worked with Marble for years and no one else can be trusted. Eventually, he is given a second chance to redeem himself. At the state school, Matron teaches the Sparrows how to understand what their targets want. Dominika corrects an arrogant student named Victor, embarrassing him in front of everyone. The next day, Dominika pleases a young man in a private room, but Matron criticizes her for not fully surrendering herself. Victor tries to assault Dominika in the shower, but she fights back. General Vladimir investigates the incident. In the next class, Matron asks Dominika to identify Victor's desires and orders her to give him what he wants. Victor, still scared, leaves without touching her. Dominika impresses Vladimir, who then assigns her to a mission in Budapest to gain Nate's trust and uncover Marble's identity. Dominika agrees and stays in Budapest with another Sparrow named Marta, under the watch of SVR station chief Maxim Volantov. Dominika follows Nate to a swimming pool, where she pretends to be a translator and has a brief conversation with him. The next day, Dominika goes to the swimming pool but doesn't find Nate and realizes her ID is missing. Nate already knows she's a Russian spy trying to uncover Marble's identity and reports it to his superiors. They allow him to get closer to Dominika for more information. Dominika discovers Marta talking to an American politician named Stephanie Boucher and later confesses her true intentions to Nate. They agree to meet for dinner. Dominika searches Marta's room and finds out Marta is buying confidential information from Stephanie. After work, Dominika follows Maxim to a bar and manipulates him into hitting her, catching the act on camera. She blackmails him into sending a better report. Meanwhile, Nate waits for Dominika at a restaurant but assumes she ditched him when she doesn't show up. Unbeknownst to him, Dominika follows him to his place, where they have a conversation about Gorky Park. Dominika kisses Nate, but he asks her to leave. The next day, Ivan visits Dominika to check on her progress with Nate. She lies to buy more time and tells him she's also working on Stephanie's case with Marta, needing additional funding. Later, she finds Marta's lifeless body in the bathtub and is confronted by Constantine, who explains the consequences of sharing secrets. Meanwhile, Nate informs his superiors about Marble's message, confirming Dominika as a Sparrow. While they see her as a threat, Nate believes she can still be recruited. He admits to Dominika that he knows her true identity, and she shares her story, emphasizing her concern for her mother's safety. Nate offers her protection in exchange for becoming a double agent. After thinking it over, Dominika asks if she can trust him, and they become intimate. In the morning, Dominika undergoes a lie detector test by Nate's superiors to assess her trustworthiness. She passes the test and asks for money, claiming she can obtain information from Stephanie Boucher. On Friday, Dominika goes to London with Maxim, staying in a hotel room equipped with security cameras. She meets Stephanie, pretending to be sent by Marta, and exchanges fake discs for money. Stephanie realizes she's being monitored by American agents, panics, throws the money away, and gets hit by a truck, leading Russian agents to suspect Dominika and Maxim. They are ordered to return to Moscow. Ivan seizes the discs upon their arrival. Despite their pleas of innocence, Dominika withstands the torture and denies involvement with the Americans. Eventually, Ivan begins to believe her and allows her to return to Budapest for her original mission of uncovering Marble's identity. Dominika reunites with Nate and enjoys a romantic evening at his place. However, she discovers Constantine torturing Nate to obtain Marble's identity. Dominika initially acts complicit but eventually fights back, allowing Nate to break free. They defeat Constantine but sustain serious injuries. Dominika wakes up in the hospital and receives a visit from General Vladimir, who reveals himself as Marble, the mole. Vladimir became disillusioned by Russia's corruption and confesses his motivations. He instructs Dominika to expose him to Ivan, making her a national hero and his successor. Dominika considers the idea absurd but, after convincing, decides to turn herself in. She requests to speak to the Russian ambassador and offers to reveal the mole's name in exchange for her freedom. An exchange meeting is arranged at an airport, with Nate accompanying Dominika to confirm the mole's identity. Nate feels betrayed but is surprised by Dominika's actions. During the meeting, the Russians present Ivan as the mole. It is revealed that Dominika fabricated evidence to frame her uncle and blamed him for the failed exchange in London. Nate confirms Ivan as the mole, and Ivan is shot by a Russian sniper. Dominika is taken away on a helicopter. Finally, Dominika is honored in a Russian military ceremony attended by General Vladimir. She now lives a free life with her mother, fulfilling her lifelong dream. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed the video.